What's up, everybody? This is Rebel, and I want to talk about the Federal Reserve banking system, which is the Federal Reserve, which is the banking system. And the Federal Reserve is connected to all of these major banks you see out here. They connected to the Federal Reserve. Back in 1910 is when all of it started. All of it started back in 1910. So in 1910, a lot of people, they was talking about how the banks was not paying them their money. The banks couldn't give them their money, and the banks couldn't give them their money. So what they did is they started to complain. So what happened is it was 6 millionaires, and these 6 millionaires would fight amongst each other, and they wasn't winning. So they decided to come together, these 6 people. 2 of them was Wahlberg, which was a banking investor. He had businesses with his brother. He was more richer than any one of them. Then it was Senator Elkridge of New York. And what he's the grandfather of John Rockefeller. No, Rothschild, not Rockefeller, Rothschild. So what happened is they all came together, and they met in New Jersey on Senator Elkridge train. He had like a cart, his own personal cart that he can go wherever he wanted to go. He had a train of his own. So they all got on this train. All of them, they didn't want anybody to know who they were. So they changed their names. Two of them said that they was going borrowed somebody's gun. He had never shot before, but he borrowed somebody's gun. And if anybody asked them where they was going, they said they were going hunting. So they get on the train, all 6 of them, didn't talk to each other, didn't want anybody to know that they were together, and they went to Atlanta. They took a ferry and wind up in Jekyll Island, which was their island. Jekyll Island was like a paradise, but it was theirs. The state owns it now. The Jekyll Island is still there on the outskirts of Atlanta. It's still there. So what they did is, after when they had got to that island, they had a recreational room. They had cottages, which was basically mansions. They had cottages that was like, I'm going for a walk. They had cottages that was like, had 14 bathrooms in them. So they sat in this room for a week, wrote out the outline of what they wanted, the banking system, because they got this from Europe. They got this from the central banking system from Europe. They wrote everything out, how they wanted the Federal Reserves to go and what they wanted done. This is why the banking system, they can loan to whomever that's why every time the banking system is in trouble, they always get a bailout, because all they have to do is keep 10% of the money in the bank. That's all they have to do. And they can get a bailout from the Federal Reserve. So what happened was they go back, after when they got everything written out, all 6 of them get back on the ferry, this was in 1910. They get back on the ferry. They go back to New Jersey, get off in New Jersey. They don't talk for 3 years. Nobody says nothing for 3 years. In 1913, they come out with the Federal Reserve. So all of them get back together, write out $1 billion check out of thin air. Something that me and you can't do, but they was able to do it. And had the outline for the Federal Reserve. I said, this is what we're going to go by. This is why you never see these banks crash. You never see it, because they're backed by the Federal Reserve. So whenever they get in trouble, the Federal Reserve is there to help them. So they went to Congress, and the Congress, meaning the Democrat, Republican, it don't matter who it is. What they do is they back the banks. So what they did is In 1913, they went on ahead, brought out the $1 billion check. They wanted to send it through, they had to pass it through Congress. The Federal Reserve, they had to pass it through Congress. So what Elkridge did, Senator Elkridge did, he got 2 Democrats because they were Republicans. So he got 2 Democrats. And with these Democrats, he put the bill in their hand. And what Senator Elkridge did, he talked about the bill because he talked about it. He was playing chess, not checkers. So even though he wrote the bill, he turned around and he talked about this bill that was being passed. And what Elkridge did is in the bill, he put some good things in there for the Democrats. Wahlberg told him, why would you do that? No, you need to take that out. He said, no, just let the bill go ahead and pass. When the bill passed, then everything I put in there to help the Democrats, I'm going to take it out. So he gave it to these 2 senators that was millionaires, Democrats. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, they were Democrats. He gave it to them. And what Elkridge did, he began to talk about the bill, even though he made the bill. He also made the money trust bill, but this was a replica of the money trust bill. So first he tried to pass it in his name, and Wahlberg told him that won't work. So what he did is he took his name off of it because it didn't go through, and just put it out there, gave it to these 2 Democratic senators, to these Democrats, put it in their hands, and he stepped away from it. And what happened is because he put it in their hands, but he wrote the bill, but he played like he had nothing to do with it and talked about the bill and let the Democrats pass the bill. Once they passed it, because it had to be voted in by the people. And you know, the Senate, not really the people, but the senators had to, because we have no say-so in votes. It had to be voted in by Congress. Once they know Elkridge was against the bill, which he wrote the bill, then what they did is they passed it. Once they passed the bill, that's how the Federal Reserve came about. And Elkridge even had the colleges talking about how great this bill was. But he wrote the bill, but it was against the people. It was against the people because a lot of things that these banks do to us, they have no right doing it. The interest rates, they have no right doing it. But this is how the Federal Reserve, it's an entity attached to our banks. And what happens is they can do what they want to you. The banking system have a lot to do with a lot of things that goes on. They could do basically what they want to do, and they always bailed out. When they about to go bankrupt, they'll never go bankrupt because they're attached to the Federal Reserve, which was created in Jekyll Island. It's an entity. It's no different than Walmart. It's no different than Target. But the only difference, they backed by the Federal Reserve to keep this money system going, regardless of what they're doing to the people, regardless of the interest rates, regardless of any of that. They can do what they want to do basically to you. And a lot of things that they do to you, just like housing, they don't even have the right to do it, but they do it because, you know, they're backed. A lot of like the IRS. The IRS it came about by Abraham Lincoln, which was a melanated man. It came about by him. The IRS started after the Civil War. They didn't have any money, so they started to tax. They wasn't taxing even the people. Taxation have nothing to do with us. And if you don't want to, you don't have to pay taxes. When you go wherever you, H&R Block, wherever you go, and once you file it, that's basically a gift to the to these entities. You're basically giving them a gift. And they know this. Once you begin to file, if you never file, they can never touch you. They can never file anything against you. The only thing they can file on is the taxes that you filed on your own and signed your name. And this is a lot of things that a lot of people don't know. And they go and they file them taxes. And see, I'm going to tell you something, the difference between white and black people. White people gonna file when it's benefiting them. They not about to file and it's not benefiting them. That's the only time they're gonna file, when they're getting something back. All of us is here, but basically we're here and we're here to learn. We're here to sharpen our minds. That's what we're here for. See, I'm going to tell you this too. Yeah, things is about to get better. We all know this because they're falling. But one thing we have to understand, when you're here, I'm talking about us ones that have a soul, not us ones that's us reptilians and us hybrids. I'm not talking to you. But you're here to use your mind, because once you get to another level, another realm, you're doing different things. So when you're here to have your mind sharpened to the T. So when you get to the next level, when you leave here and you get to the next level, you're ready. So when you deal with these people, you have to understand, you have to know how to deal with them. They cannot come after you. The Civil War had to do with us and them fighting our men. See, there's a lot of stuff they're not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you because they want you to think that you're nothing. They want you to think that, oh, somehow, some way, somebody gave them control over us, and nobody gave them any control over us. They took this after when they had did a demise on our men and destroyed a lot of them. They felt as though we was powerless. They had to take every system from us to make us think on a different level. And then they created all these entities attached to our government, because we had a government. And I'm going to tell you something else. If you trace the buildings, if you trace them, and you trace the buildings and how they were made, you will soon see that these buildings was all over the globe. They want you to put a feather in your head. They want you to think that you're an Indian and you was making teepees. No, we was royalty. We was making big buildings you couldn't even imagine. That was us. We was living in a teepee. We was humble people. No, we wasn't. No, we wasn't. That wasn't us. We was humble to the universe. We wasn't humble to people that didn't like us. It's a difference when you say humble and you humble to somebody who don't like you. There is a difference. So I want to talk about that because I want people to understand what's really going on and how they have taken us on a ride where they laughed at us behind closed doors, and now the laughter is on them because now they have to deal with the remnants of what they destroyed, and they not ready. This is why when people like me come out with information, you get people come on here, oh, you a nut job, you this. Keep talking. You keep talking. Keep talking, because it's about to, and it ain't no, somebody gonna put out a video talking about, oh, in 7 years, no, baby. Nope. Don't say that. Don't say that. It's happening right now. It's happening right now. You know, I remember I had a dream. And I was at this lake, and I was just sitting down, and I was just an observer. I was just watching the skies. The skies was pretty and blue. And everything was just beautiful around me. And I remember this thing came about the water. It almost looked like Godzilla. I don't know. It was a dragon, and it came up out the water. And when it came up out the water, everything around it started destroying people. It started destroying everything around it. And I had that dream when I first got into spirituality. I had that dream. And I didn't know what it meant, but that dream, it was so scary because it almost felt like I was really there. It felt like I was there. And when you read the Bible and it talks about people they're going to be acting like ain't nothing going on, and everything going to come to them like a thief in the night. It's not you see people out here and you see them still carrying on like ain't nothing going on and everything is normal. And you can clearly see, you can feel in the energy, everything is not normal. But people want to act like they're real spiritual and they not. When I see people put on a costume and overdo it, I know I know it's not from within, because if it's from within, you don't have to put on all that bullshit you got on. It's something that goes on from within. It's something that you can feel, and you can feel it when your chakras is open. You can feel it every day. And now you got people talking about the chakras. Be very careful. Be very careful, because I didn't have to go to no ceremony. I didn't have to do any of that for my chakras to open up. They opened up on their own when I was ready. And if you're not ready, you should not play around with the chakras, because you're not ready. Meaning that all the junk I was doing in my past, I was able to let it all go. Because once your chakras is open, everything, you have to let it go. You have to let everything go. Because everything you was doing, I guarantee you, 99% of it wasn't right. And a lot of people don't want to do that. And then they want to team up with you, and they know their chakras not open. Where I'm at, you not there. Because I shouldn't have to, if your chakras open, I shouldn't have to tell you anything. The chakras lead you. I don't lead you. I do videos to let people understand that, listen, you're not out here alone. There's other people out here that's going through the same thing. I don't do videos for popularity. It's just my videos go viral, but I don't do videos for that. I do video. That's why I don't be on here every day. I'm not going to be on here every day because I don't have to. These entities attached to our government. We had a thriving government. We let people get too close to us that was not supposed to get too close to us. And that's what destroyed us. And a lot of our people turned on us. And we had everything. And we have to understand this. We got to stop acting like everybody is included. Because you're melanated, you're included. No, you're not. No, you're not. Everybody should not be in your presence. Everybody should not have the privilege to talk to you. Everybody should not have the privilege to eat bread with you. Meaning eat. Be selective of who you allow around you. Because everybody don't deserve to be around you. Now, remember when I was talking about how the black man killed his wife. His wife came to the woman's house, and he killed the woman. I mean, the woman who he was dealing with killed the woman in my last video. It didn't happen yesterday. It happened yesterday. See, a woman, I get another woman going crazy because the frequency is changing, so they killing each other. So this woman, they was at a stop sign, somewhere they was at in the street. She came at and charged the woman, and the woman blew her away. Shot her 4 times and killed her. Y'all need to understand that because the people that's spiritual, we're not dating anymore because we know what's going on. We're not in a relationship. We're not doing none of that. So what is going on now? They're killing each other. They're killing each other because we don't deal with these hybrids. And that's what most of them are. They're hybrids. So they're turning on each other. And it's sad she lost her life, but you can't, this frequency is so high. You got to be careful who you deal with. You got to be careful who you be around. You can't be around. I don't even know if the portal's even open to even heal. The way it was open with me and other people, I don't even know if these portals are still open to even help anybody, because I'm looking at this and it seems like everybody is turning on everybody. And see, the spiritual people, we have separated ourselves because we know, and we move in silence. We don't let everybody know what we're doing. Now, that young lady lost her life yesterday, another one. And this is happening. That's why I say crime is at an alarming rate. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about it. And it's like they still doing video. It's like Facebook then been turned into a mortuary. Every time you turn around, somebody's saying, rest in peace, rest in peace. The only thing our mind is on is this government. The only thing our mind is on is us coming back into power, because that's what's happening right now. It's the resurrection that is going on right now. But a lot of people cannot grasp what I'm saying, because it is levels to everything. Just like we thought Freemasonry was 33. Now we know it could go up to 99, but you have to be out of this country in order to get 99. Get up to 99. That's when you get to 99, you meeting the people that have really been in control of all of this. This right here, it have nothing to do with who looks the best, who have the longest hair, who is the prettiest. It have nothing to do with that. This realm right here is nothing but a learning center. And once the universe see that it's no hope for you, they're going on ahead and let you go, because you're not going to get it. That's what's going on right now. And that's why, and now you see somebody can do karma, and karma comes right back on them the next day, because things have changed. Things have changed. When you see people and their skin is wrinkled, I'm a middle-aged woman. Their skin is wrinkled. Their face is droopy. They walking with a cane. Some of them people, I've met people 50 years old and they look 90. That's because their chakras never opened up. And they body, if your chakras don't open, your spirituality is a part of your body, is a part of your soul, is a part of everything. And if your chakras is not open, that's why you're deteriorating like you are, because your chakras is not open. This is a whole, it goes along, it goes hand in hand. This body, these organs, the whole nine. And matter of fact, your chakras is connected. The solar plex is connected. The sacrum is connected to your organs. These chakras is connected to your organs. That's why you're sick. That's why they don't want to talk about the chakras. Don't let anybody come to you and fool you and talk about they can help you get your chakras open. Nobody can do that. Nobody can do that. They can be a Reiki, whatever they want to do. Nope, you got to do it on your own. And it got to do with who you are and how real you are with yourself. That's what it got to do with. When you become real, your chakras will open up and you can't be around everybody. You can't be, because you give energy. A lot of people come take energy, and then you have to build that energy back up. That's why I'm selective. That's why when people get in my inbox, I don't talk to them. No, this is not the time for no, oh, well, let's team up. No, it's not. It have to do with you and only you. It don't have to do with anybody else. You all have a nice day.